Okay, yeah, there's a big competitor bought that, they're looking at any uniform company. Is that right? Yeah. 3 years?
Thank you for joining our meeting, our April meeting of the Spring Township Supervisors. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
Resolution 03-2018, the supporting the construction of Nestlé North America bottling plant in Center County.
You see what else?
You want to read that?
Or you want me to read it, or you want to read it? Okay. Whereas the creation of 50 new family-sustaining wage jobs along with additional 90 indirect jobs is good for the local economy. And whereas this will provide additional and much-needed tax dollars to the local municipalities, $22,000, to the Bellefonte Area School District, $159,000, and to Center County, $21,000. And whereas Nestlé will be a customer of Spring Township Water Authority, just like any other customer, and will not have access to take more water than the agreement provides for. And whereas Spring Township Water Authority will own and fully control the source of water and all distribution, including wells, equipment, pipelines, and Nestlé will pay Spring Township Water Authority all of these costs, including maintenance, operation, and all repairs, in addition to their water rate. And whereas the Susquehanna River Basin Commission and the Pennsylvania Department of Protection have approved the water withdrawal. And whereas Spring Township Water Authority has been developing well number 2, as DEP required of them over 2 years, long before Nestlé ever considered this location. Whereas the amount of water to be withdrawn will not affect the aquifer or the Spring Creek watershed. The authority and Nestlé have done extensive independent studies for the quality and its recharge capabilities. And all the science from the hydrogeologists have proven that this is an independent source with no effect on Spring Creek. And whereas Nestlé has done their due diligence, so has Spring Township. We have spoken with municipalities in the Allentown area, where Nestlé has 2 bottling plants and 7 springs that supply plants and have nothing but praise for Nestlé and the model corporate citizen. And whereas the township has heard complaints about plastic bottles that Nestlé uses and the pollution they create. The township is also concerned. However, it's not just Nestlé, it's all corporate American companies from Pepsi, Coke, Procter & Gamble, and supermarkets and more. Perhaps the worst of all are the citizens that pollute our environment and don't properly dispose of their waste. And whereas this is a concern with water withdrawal of the Spring Creek watershed, then why is there no concern or protest about the growth in State College area and the continuous expansion and construction of Penn State? And now, therefore, be resolved on this 2nd day of April 2018 on a motion of whomever supporting Nestlé bottling plant.
I will move to pass the resolution.
I'll second the motion.
Motion been made and seconded to approve the resolution for Nestlé. All those in favor giving consent saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved.
I did have a couple of comments regarding this. I think the resolution summed up a lot of the facts, some of which had not been accurately conveyed to the public. But there were 2 things that I gathered. I went to several Spring Creek Watershed Commission meetings, Spring Township Water Authority meetings. I went to the Nestlé Forum. And I guess I just wanted to add a couple of things. One, there was a recent suggestion, it kind of came around about, but one idea that came out of the most recent Water Authority meeting was a suggestion for the Water Authority to have a second legal opinion, looked at any agreement that would be drafted. And I thought that was a reasonable idea, perhaps someone with specific water law knowledge or some experience in that. And so I did share that with a member of the Water Authority. I thought that was a really good suggestion. The other thing that I think is kind of it's something that we need to look at. You know, we're not used to a great deal of inquiries into the township. We're used to a few people coming consistently and asking questions, and when there are questions in other areas, we're used to people calling us or coming into a meeting and asking us. So I think it's probably important for us to look at down the road as we have people moving into our township who are more familiar with other municipalities that are more proactive about posting information. They have mechanisms to share knowledge. They certainly in the center region, they have a lot more resources, so they can do a lot of those things that we can't. But it's just, I think it's something we need to look at as we move forward, the consideration of finding ways to share information a little easier with people. But those are just two additional comments that I wanted to make.
Thank you. Open forum. Go ahead. What, your name and address?
My name's Valerie Burnett. I live in Patton Township.
Okay, no. What's this about?
This is actually about Nestlé water.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, man. We're not going to listen to that.
You know.
You're not a resident in Spring Township. We're not going to listen to what you have to say. Thank you.
And neither are the children that I worked with who died.
Ma'am?
You know what?
Sorry.
Is this open forum or not? I waited. I came all the way here.
I'm sorry.
For open forum.
I'm sorry.
Well, the
You
sunshine,
can stifle a person in a public meeting during open forum? Where's my freedom of speech?
the Pennsylvania legislature says that this board has to provide reasonable opportunity for citizens and taxpayers of Spring Township to address this board. And that's what, there are two ways to do that. You can get on the agenda and be heard as a visitor, or residents can come in here and address or question the board during open forum. If you're not a resident, then the law does not give you that provision here. You can go talk to Patton Township and have your say there, or you could have, there's other ways to do it. Write letters or write to the editor or whatever.
I get it.
That's the law.
I really get it. I get exactly what you're saying, which is why the people that I wanted to speak about who die regularly because of plastic, because they live next to oil refineries.
Ma'am, I'm sorry.
I have Affordable Care Act information.
Anybody else?
Red is death.
Ma'am, you either sit down or we're going to have you removed.
Red is death, green is life.
Ma'am, go ahead.
Thank
Your name?
I'm Lynn Heritage. I'm a Spring Township resident.
Okay.
Excuse me.
No.
I am amazed that you three passed the resolution supporting the Nestlé bottling plant. Dave, you've been at these meetings. You've heard the Water Authority meetings, the Watershed Commission meetings. I mean, there is a water use forum that the Watershed Commission asked Lara Fowler to schedule all the stakeholders.
Right, that's the beginning of conversation. That's the beginning. You should talk with Laura.
I have talked with Laura. What I'm saying to you is what the purpose of that forum is to gather all the stakeholders and to vet the decision. And for you to vote on it now is very premature.
First of all,
And
Mr.
can
Chairman,
I finish?
Ma'am,
Go ahead.
Thank you.
That's fine.
Can you respond to your
That's
first
fine.
part of your
I'll
question?
respond at the end. I'll respond.
All right, go ahead.
Thank you. It feels like you are myopic to the opposition in our community to having Nestlé build a bottling plant here. I know that all of you are very much in favor of it. And the resolution that you read, Bill, you got off topic in places, and I totally disagree that that Nestlé has done due diligence. They've maybe done an economic impact study. It does not count unless it is shared with the public. And the environmental concerns have not been addressed at all. And you're just rushing this along. And I don't know the legal recourse to undo what you just passed, but I think it's grounds for an injunction to stop it and slow down. It just cannot happen here. It can't.
Thank you.
Hey,
So I apologize for interrupting you. I thought you wanted me to respond to your question.
I'm glad to hear
So
that.
it's a resolution of support. It's not an approval. We don't have, this board doesn't have a say at this point. If Nestlé wants to come into Spring Township and buy land, then we would have some involvement. So it's not an approval. My understanding in talking with the chairman of the Spring Creek Watershed, Denny Haymeister, in addition to the vice chairman, is that the forum is being put on as a watershed, as a beginning discussion of use and quality of the watershed. It is not about Nestlé. It will not, in my conversations with them, it's not about Nestlé. So if you want to talk with them and find out, maybe that is incorrect, but we had that conversation.
Thank you.
And I would say I've done my due diligence in attending these forums and attending this information.
Thank you.
I've had to correct people at the Spring Creek Watershed meeting because someone was inaccurately talking about an agreement that existed. There is no agreement that exists, at least as of that date. So I think the ordinance accurately reflects the facts.
It's a resolution.
I'm sorry, the resolution. But, I guess you're entitled to your opinion on that, but I think, we too are entitled to be able to make those decisions as well. So that's my comment.
thank you.
Can I ask a question if I live in Bellefonte, because I'm surrounded by Spring Township?
No.
Yes.
Did you actually take a vote on that?
You want to stand up? What's your name?
Bob Reeder, Spring Township.
Okay.
Did you actually take a vote tonight on the resolution? I heard Royer, and you seconded it, but there was never a vote.
I think it was. Yes, there was.
I think
Yes,
Did they
there
all
was.
vote? Okay.
They approved it unanimously.
Oh, okay.
You can back to sleep, we'll get you away.
Okay. I didn't hear you.
Yes, ma'am.
My name is Beth Whitman, I'm a Spring Township resident. I would like to ask if you received the petitions that were signed and submitted to the Water Authority stating that there were 650 residents that were opposed.
We
To Nestlé building?
we did see a copy of that petition as it was to the Water Authority.
Okay.
However, I believe there were 632 names on there. They were not all residents. Only 119 were residents.
Of Spring Township?
Yes.
Okay. I have one follow-up question. I'm new to this, so I'm trying to understand a lot of things. Can you help me understand how the supervisors and the water authority work together, or how that's structured? And I apologize, I'm new and I
The Water
appreciate.
Authority is appointed by this board.
Okay.
The day-to-day operation is managed by the township and township employees. But the decision-making of how they expand their system, put new wells in or whatever, is strictly up to the authority.
Okay, so the supervisors appoint people to the water authority.
Correct.
They're all volunteers.
They're all volunteers.
And are they appointed for specific terms?
They're a 5-year term,
Okay.
and they're staggered.
Okay, and are there 5 seats on that board?
Yes.
Okay. And what are the qualifications for being on?
Raise your hand.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, raise your hand.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Thank you for indulging me. I'm just new to this, and so I'm trying to understand.
No, we're always looking for volunteers.
I know, and that's okay, and I get it. I volunteer in a lot of other ways, so, I'm happy to volunteer on the board if there's an opening. I think it's really important. I feel like a lot of the issues with this is that the people feel that there's a lack of transparency. And I think it's really important that the supervisors and that the authority take the lead on that and provide us with the facts, provide us with the data, so that we can stop the rumor mills and stop things that are not factual, so that we can have the data. And one of the ways I think that that would be very helpful is to post the information, I think you were referring to that, to post things like the term sheets and the SRBC reports and the DEP reports and the permits, to post those right on the website. I really think that would go a long way to clearing up a lot of the confusion, because people would be getting the information directly from the source. So I think that that's a very valuable thing to do, and I would encourage that that happen more quickly than down the road. I really think it would help to clear it up, because everybody would be getting it right from the source.
And that's the very reason I made those comments. Unfortunately, I don't know, I don't think our systems are in place to easily do that kind of thing. We're not used to having that interest. And frankly, I was talking with someone who was in the Center Region, and I said, it'd be great if we had the resources that Center Region municipalities have. We just don't have those kind of resources. And
is there a way that we could look at, like someone from CPI? I know they have.
Well, there's
folks out
probably all
there.
kinds of opportunities to look into that. But again, historically, this board has never really had that kind of interest outside of the community. I mean, as I said, this was, it's a learning experience, and you find things, and you hopefully find ways to pursue those in the future.
And I also think having an agenda posted ahead of the meeting would help as well. And the minutes not being posted until 2 months, a month, and a week or so after the meetings.
They're posted after they're approved.
And that's also a lot of the confusion, because they've been stated, but there's a month, sometimes 5 weeks that go by before they're posted on the website. And I know even the email address at the bottom of the website doesn't work.
It does now.
Does it?
I don't.
Okay.
I didn't speak up, but I talked to them and they fixed it. So if you do use it, it should still get routed to anyways, even
Okay.
the supervisors, and that's linked now.
Okay.
So
I think that the supervisors and the water authority could do a lot to help the residents feel better by making it a priority to share that information directly from you as the source.
Thank you. All right, great.
Good evening. My name is Martin Perna. I am a Spring Township resident and a customer of the Water Authority. Myself, my wife have gone door to door and up and down Main Street where we live and up in the neighborhoods there. And almost everyone that we've talked to had no information from the township. We've also walked up and down Mulbarter Lane, speaking to people who live right next to the well site, and they were really left in the dark. There's been well testing done where their wells have drained to nothing, and then they call and are told they have to prove it, that, the drawdown test that on well number 2 had anything to do with that. So there's a lot of unanswered questions, and if this is really a good idea, people really want to see answers to their questions. Why are the water rates increasing? Why are there no improvements to the grid? We had a boil notice in the past couple of months. How is this going to affect the fire department's ability to get water up the mountain? There was really the only public information that we had was from Nestlé. There's also the question of the bottling plant. No one's talked to us about where all of these trucks are going to go. They carry 21 tons worth of water. And finally, how this is going to affect the property values of the residents, because it's certainly not going to make them increase. Now, I just want to make clear that this is not about Nestlé in particular. It could be Coke, it could be Budweiser, it could even be Penn State. This is not a good deal for the residents of Spring Township, and that was the overwhelming sentiment that we had when we went door to door, up and down in town, and also up and down where the well locations are. So I just wanted to share that, and if you care to respond, I'm not the only one who would appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you. Do you have anything to say, Bill?
No.
Many of those questions were answered at various times, but I didn't write all the questions down, so I don't know. I'd be happy to answer them after the meeting if you'd like.
Anybody else? You have a couple minutes, ma'am.
I just have a follow-up question. You said
Your name
that
again?
Lynn Heritage,
Thank
and I'm a Spring Township resident for 37 years, long time. You said that the resolution was approved, but it wasn't giving a green light to the project, so I'm trying to understand the distinction you were making about
The resolution was just in support of the Nestlé bottling plant.
Okay.
Okay? We do not, the township does not have approval authority for Nestlé.
The water authority does.
The water authority does.
Okay.
Okay? And if the plant were to be located in Spring Township or Benner Township, whichever municipality, as long as the zoning is in place for that plant, okay, they meet the criteria for the land development plan, stormwater, and those things, that municipality, whichever municipality, and it wouldn't matter where it was in Pennsylvania, it goes the same across the state, they would have no choice but to approve it, whether they like Nestlé or not. If they meet the criteria of the ordinance, then they have no choice but to approve that plan.
Just because it's been presented to you, you're obligated to
If it meets the criteria of the
then it has to
ordinances.
go, okay.
Yes. So that means the zoning ordinance, subdivision ordinance, land development ordinance, stormwater ordinance,
Highway access.
highway access, any of those things that are part of the ordinance.
Okay.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
My name's Eric Andrews. I work with Nestlé Waters. I'm not a resident of Spring Township, but I am leasing office space here in Spring Township. So I just wanted to thank the board for passing a resolution tonight in support of the Nestlé Waters facility. I also want to make comment that I have opened an office here in Spring Township over at the Titan Energy facility in the office building. I'll have frequent office hours, which will be posted on our website. I welcome anybody to drop by and ask questions and express their concerns about the project. I'll try to do the best I can to answer the questions and address the concerns. I would appreciate the opportunity to meet with anybody that would like to meet with me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And that is inequality. Thank you. Corporate citizen.
He's offering his services.
Anybody else? Anyone? I need a motion. I move to adjourn.
Very much like this an opportunity to in the meeting or to the school district where
Which school district do you want to get?
any school district.
A little bit, and on the ground.
I will just hand you the information.
We just need to come.
Okay, let's do this.
I'm in that building.
Supervisors at 9 to 12. And do we need to call it?
Yeah, pretty much.